And it's a way to empower you through your treatment and through, whatever it is that you have to get through. So the cold caps, to me, are crucial for a lot of women. Some women maybe don't care and it's not that big a deal. To me, it was a big deal. And I think it's a big deal to a lot of women.
It's not as well known in the United States as in Europe.
Yeah, that's right. In the UK, we have had 20 years. They've had 20 years of using the cold caps. And I don't know, it's finally FDA approved. But at that point, when I used them, I really didn't care if it was FDA approved. I had nothing to lose. And I saw the results with other women that I had met and spoken to about the cold caps. And to me, there was no choice.
So this is like the ultimate act of loving kindness, to take your experience, expertise, and help somebody literally through the process live, helping my wife in this case.
I can't tell you how good it makes me feel to help other women get through this and to come out the other end healthy and feeling good about themselves. I can remember one of the best things was that when my treatment was finished, I remember getting up after the last treatment the next day and looking at my head of hair and thinking to myself, thank you, thank you, thank you, because a lot of women are finished with their treatment, but then they have 2 years of trying to grow their hair back. And although you'll have what they refer to as shedding, there'll be a little bit of shedding. And for everybody it's different, but you're still way ahead of the game.
Just give me an idea of what it feels like when you're putting these frozen, flexible helmets on your head, and the weight, the cold, the intensity.
So it sort of feels like somebody putting a boulder on your head, a very stiff boulder. And you almost have floppy head. You feel like one of those bobbleheads because your head's so heavy. But that can be prevented with just one of those airline neck pillows. As far as, what was the other question? You asked me about the weight of it. In general. Okay, so in general, it's a cold that you've never felt before in your life. But I used to call it vitamin A, which was Ativan. And I always made sure they had my vitamin A queued up before I got the first cap, because that was crucial. And then you feel the weight of it, and you know that it's cold, but for some reason it doesn't bother you. And a little bit of Excedrin migraine ahead of time helps a lot too.
And something warm?
You do get very cold, very, very cold. But with sweats and an electric blanket, that helps a lot. But you can get up. I would go up and use the restroom. The worst part about that is you have to get out from underneath your blanket. And I can remember like shivering on the way to the restroom. So, you want to try to avoid that if you can. But I drink a lot of water, and I would drink a lot of water throughout the procedure. But you get used to it, and then after the first couple of cap changes, you really don't feel it anymore. All I kept thinking was, I have to hold my head up. That was the hardest thing, was, trying to hold your head up because you have people pulling on your head and you're a little loosey-goosey. But, so that's sort of what I thought about. But as far as, you would think it would be a lot worse than it is. And it's not. We're women, we're tough. We've been through a lot worse, So for 5 hours or 8 hours or whatever it is, you suck it up and you do it. And it's really, I was through worse needle prodding and all of that. I've had some people try to give me IVs that were worse than the cold cap. So,
Thank so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So happy to help, truly.
Beautiful.